My name is Rena Conti. I am an associate professor in the Department of Markets, Public Policy, and Law at Questrom Business School and at Boston University. I am a health economist by training, and my expertise is pharmaceutical markets. So I study how drugs are priced, how drugs are supplied, and who wants to use drugs and for what purposes. We are in a pivotal moment. It is clear that the prices of many prescription drugs are simply too high for Americans to afford. People are both underinsured and uninsured for many of these products, leading people to make decisions at the pharmacy counter about whether to fill that prescription or forego it to pay for rent, food, groceries, etc. At the same time, we are living in a transformational time. We have new drugs on the market that have transformed our lives from being prone to dread disease to really converted many illnesses into being chronic illnesses that can be managed while we go to school and go to work and take care of all the other responsibilities and things that we have to do in our lives. We are in the middle of the international biotech universe. Boston and Cambridge are the center of where new medicines happen. And so really the question is, how can we ensure that we keep those innovations coming and at the same time make sure that people who stand to benefit from them actually do so? At the end of the day, prescription drug manufacturers make these products, they sell these products into the US market and to other international markets as well, and they price these products. Consequently, when these companies are setting prices, it's that price, or those prices, that fundamentally percolate through the rest of the system and determine ultimately whether or not people can afford to use them or not. Right now, the companies are engaged in many efforts to try to improve access to therapies that exist now. They include heavily discounting, rebating, and providing copay assistance to people who cannot afford it. In addition, the bedrock of our system to produce affordability in the pharmaceutical market is just like many other markets in the US economy. Competition drives new products into the market, innovations that improve our lives, and competition also drives down prices. The main challenge with the current configuration is that there are many drugs for which competition doesn't work. No competition shows up to these markets, and therefore competition, that engine of affordability and innovation, doesn't really have the ability to produce more affordable products for people or for our insurers. Pharmaceutical market is kind of a tale of two cities, if you will. We have miraculous products that cure us, or that again convert dread disease into chronic manageable illness. Many of those products are priced fairly, and in fact, Americans actually get pretty good prices for the products that really do provide value in terms of improving our survival, improving our quality of life. We also pay the lowest prices in the OECD countries for generic drugs. Those are drugs that were branded, they had patents that protected them from competition. Those patents expired and those products experienced entry and competition. So in some sense, our system works really well to provide us products that we need at prices that we can afford. But there's another set of products out there. And that set of products are those that really don't provide that much value. They don't improve the quality of our lives and they don't improve our survival. And yet, they have very high prices too. And it's those products that we spend money on and yet are really not providing good value for our money from the perspective either as a consumer paying out of pocket or for our insurers that have to make decisions about paying for that product or paying for other needed therapies. Many commentators on the current debate over reform suggest that we have a choice. Either we continue to pay the highest prices in the world for products that don't work to drive innovation forward, or we reform the system to bring prices more in line with their value, and that quote unquote bankrupts innovation. And really, my research suggests that this is a false choice. Instead, we can absolutely have products that transform our lives and that drive the next generation of products forward at the same time of ensuring that the products that we have now go to people who actually will benefit from them. So in some research that I just published, we suggest a several-part plan. First, we need to realign our payment system to actually provide access to products that really do transform our lives. People shouldn't go bankrupt. Families shouldn't have to choose between food and medicine for products that absolutely work and are effective at helping people feel better. At the same time, we should not pay so high prices for the products that really don't actually transform our lives. And actually realigning on value will help bring the next generation of medicines forward that actually do provide real cures. At the same time, we need to prime the pump for innovation to get even more out of this industry. And here we suggest a couple of additional efforts. First, provide more money for basic science to bring the next generation of new dementia drugs, new cancer drugs, new drugs to treat rare disease forward. We know universities like ours and many others are really the ones that are bringing that next generation of therapies to market. Secondly, so many of the products that do come to market that are truly innovative, they start in university labs and then they get spun out into startup companies, just like we are living in Boston with so many of them. Those new startup companies need additional resources to do really high quality clinical trials to prove that these products are going to transform our lives, and additional potential support in other ways, including additional financial support to help ensure that when these innovators want to bring these products to market, they have the resources, both financial, but also potential other help to bring these products all the way through risky and very costly clinical trials to our doorstep. We are living in extraordinary times. COVID has reoriented our economy and many of our perspective on the value of these new products. We remain the largest market for these products in the world, and we are also the center of innovation for new products to come to market. Nothing about reform is intended to upset that ecosystem. If anything, reform is intended to bring more drugs to people who need them now, and more drugs for people who can benefit from them in the future.